What's going on, club team? In the mornings, I train my college team, and then sometimes in my evening, I train you guys. And I thought I would give you a little bit of a sense on what goes on with our college team. What's common between both is oftentimes we're going to have some level of a technical warm up. And these are guys just passing the ball for 20 minutes before we got into the other things. Now, what's a little different for them is these guys all have masks on. It's raining. They're in groups of 9, and we cannot do any form of contact. So it's been really frustrating for everybody. What's even more frustrating, worse than any of that, is we also can't have any competitive games. And this is for the last 7 years, we have been coming off of our conference playoffs, going into the NCAA tournament. And this is always one of the most enjoyable practices that we have. What I'm really proud of looking out here is what I know that you couldn't really see is there's a bunch of seniors that are out here. And these seniors, in their mind, believe that there's very, very little chance that they're going to have another competitive game. Most of these guys, we could have a competitive spring season, but the odds are unlikely of that. And they're just coming out and practicing and going hard just because that's kind of who they are. That's just their DNA. Now, also, if you asked many of them, they also want to help our freshmen who are here and just kind of understand the way that we do things in our program. And the way we do things in our program is we just kind of go hard at what we do. So in this passing drill, note that these guys sprint pretty hard after a pass. They generally pass the ball pretty hard. And technically they do this relatively cleanly. This is a slight variation of the same drill, and they're just kind of dialed in and focused. Now, this isn't anything that's any different than any other normal day at F&M. And I just want you guys to be able to see that. I know for many of you, you're coming from high school programs. Some of you could be coming from junior high programs. You're coming from other club teams and things. And all you know is kind of what your 5 to 10 friends, kind of do. And we have a tendency to look around left and right and say, well, let's kind of behave like everybody else. And you guys have been behaving fine. I'm quite happy with what you've been doing. But just want you to know that if you want to really, really maximize your ability to be the best player that you can, when you show up to practice, from that first warm up to the first passing drill to whatever we're going to do, that this is the standard of excellence for you. It's not about sprinting around hard. It is just about technically doing things as well as you can and just really, really mentally locking in. In a lot of ways, it's more about your mind than your body. Most soccer, most American sports, we're always talking about kind of the physical attributes. But for soccer, there's so much for soccer that comes down to the mental ability to be able to lock in, focus, technically execute actions repeatedly over time. So just wanted to give you a quick thought on that. I also wanted to say that first 10 to 15 minutes of your practice, for me, whenever I was your age, it was a critical piece to going out onto the field. In fact, my senior year in high school, oftentimes I would actually go, everybody would be showing up and I would go off to a corner and I would just do Corver stuff, trying to make my feet faster before I started to play. And I got such into a rhythm of that I felt like if I would play in a soccer game and I didn't do that I just kind of wasn't myself and the player that I wanted to be. So anyway, really happy with what we're doing. You guys are fine. But just wanted to give you a sense of what really, really quality high-level training looks like.